Hello everybody, welcome back to Magic After Dark. I have been playing the game Phasmophobia with the boys, and it has been really fun, and I've been wanting to look into real ghost stories on Reddit, and I found a subreddit called r/ghost stories, which is where people just share their experiences with real ghosts, and I found 3 pretty good ones, and I'm going to be sharing them with you today. Back in 2020, I was 13 at the time and was on vacation. I was staying at my cousin's house, and their backyard is full of mango trees, and not so far from the mango trees, there's a private property, more like a grass field, but has a lot of tall bushes and a lake. We were playing that time with my cousin, and we rode bicycles until we reached the private property. We basically trespassed in it because there were no fences or gates, and that place was a perfect place to play. When we got there, I suddenly felt uneasy, but just brushed it off and continued to play until I saw a tall black shadow figure standing up from afar under the mango tree. My cousin also saw one not far from the one I saw. We weren't scared that time because we wanted them to play with us. When I was young, my parents always say that I have an imaginary friend and can talk to some spirits and can see one. When we got home, we noticed that it followed us, but we didn't think about it that much since we thought that they were our friends. Days passed and we still played with them. We even talked to them, and sometimes they often stood beside our bed watching us sleep. It was just fine, but one night when I was throwing the trash outside, I saw another figure and it scared me because it was so creepy and much taller than the previous one we've seen. So I hurriedly went back inside and told my cousin about it. Little did I know that that was the night they would start to turn my world upside down. I noticed that my cousin was acting differently and started persuading me to come with her and attempt to kill ourselves. And yes, we did attempt to kill ourselves on that night. We sneaked outside and started tying a rope on the mango tree to hang ourselves, but we didn't succeed because the dog almost bit us, and the dog was also acting strange. We decided to go to the highway and just let a truck hit us, but I hesitated because I was scared, because from the other side of the road, I saw a creepy tall figure that scared me. But before I could say a word to my cousin, she already pulled me, and that resulted in us crashing with the truck. Before losing consciousness, I see the tall figure that we considered as friends standing from afar, looking at me. When I regained consciousness, I was already at the hospital and waiting for our surgery to be taken. I was expecting that the tall shadow figure would show up when I woke up, but strangely, it didn't appear until now that I'm already 17. Until today, I was wondering why we did that and what was its connection with the tall shadow figure I've seen. So my house was built by my great-grandparents in the 60s. My family now lives in it. It's me, my mom, my stepdad, my sister, and my stepbrother every other weekend. We've lived in this house ever since my great-grandmother passed away in 2019, but these mimics started to happen recently. At first, it would be my mom calling my name, and then I go to it and no one is there. I'll ask her about it, and she would say she never said anything. Vice versa with her. But recently it's gotten worse. A few weeks ago I spent the night at a friend's house. When my friend dropped me off, no one was home because my sister had a competition. My mom told me she would stop and get me food on her way home. She called me when my stepdad pulled up in the driveway. When she was unlocking the door, she heard me tell the dogs to back away from the door. But when she opened the door, I wasn't even in the living room. Our house is basically a very long hallway. One end is the front door and the other end is my room, so it takes me a minute to get to the front door. Even if I was heading to the front door, I wouldn't have reached it in time. My stepdad says he heard me at the door too. Then last night my mom said she heard me again. She got up to use the restroom at what she thinks was around 2 a.m. When she was in the bathroom, she heard me singing and walking toward the bathroom. I like to randomly burst out in song, so this isn't unusual. So she told me she would be out in a minute, but when she left the bathroom, I wasn't waiting on her. She looked into my room, and I was dead asleep. I don't know why this mimic likes to mimic me the most, but it is creepy. My sister said she will hear my voice in her room a lot. My great-grandmother did pass away in the house, but I doubt it's her because this feels evil. Last night I was cycling back from a night shift at 3:15 a.m. I just got back to my village, an old place with a rich history. I was cycling and suddenly got very cold and shivery. I was not cold before, so it wasn't just that it was cold out. I'm not one to believe in ghosts, but I saw a figure walking along the road, and as soon as he saw me, he hopped back behind a fence, thinking I wouldn't see him. As I passed, he started walking back onto the pavement, just looking at me. He was dressed in what I would describe as early 1900s farmer's clothing, flat cap and tweed jacket. He looked to be around 80 years old, Anyway, you may be thinking this is just a normal old man, but this is where it gets interesting. As I turned around to take another look, he was gone. This was like 3 seconds between me looking forward and then turning around to look at him. There were no alleyways or streets near to where he was, so it's not that he could have gone down an alleyway. I've never had a ghost encounter and would usually never in a million years believe in them, but this has really made me question things. I've gone over it in my head all day, and the only explanation I can find is paranormal. This is a small village and I know most faces, and it begs the question, even if it wasn't paranormal, why was it an old farmer out in the freezing cold at 3 a.m. walking along the streets? Hey guys, thanks for watching this episode of Magic After Dark. If you've made it this far, I just want to let you know about the Point C Discord. You can go on there, chat with us, suggest videos. I have a Magic After Dark channel that I freshly made that you can post stories, chat with me about different stories I've done, whatever you want. You can also email me at magicafterdark@gmail.com if you want your story to be anonymous. You can post it in the comments. Just get it to me any way you want, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.